everyone, so for this tofu scramble recipe I will be using one large block of firm tofu, and the spices that I like to use are ground paprika, turmeric and cumin seeds, and a little bit of savoury yeast flakes which I sprinkle on towards the end. So I start off this recipe by preparing my tofu, and I do this by getting rid of all the excess water. I place it on a paper towel and just give it some light presses just to squeeze all the water out, and then leave it like this for about 10 minutes just so that it completely dries up. So I place the tofu to the side and I get started on cutting up my veggies. So I start off by finely dicing my onion because this will be the first thing that I fry, and then I move on to everything else. So I chop up my mushrooms as well as a little chili pepper just for that extra spice. I add in 1 small capsicum or red bell pepper and 2 small tomatoes. Great, so now that our veggies are all done, I can move on to the tofu. So I start by cutting up the tofu into rectangular sized pieces, and I do this so that it is a little bit easier to press it into the scrambled texture. You can cut it up into whatever shape you like, this is just how I prefer to do it. So I continue pressing the tofu with a fork, essentially just creating a scrambled texture. I do this quite a lot until I find that it's thoroughly scrambled, and then it's time to fry everything up. So after everything's done frying, I like to add my spices in towards the end. So I start by adding my turmeric and then the paprika and the cumin. I don't usually have exact measurements, I just eyeball it. However, if you are after exact measurements, I'd say it's close to around 1 teaspoon of each. And if you prefer it less spicy, definitely add a little bit less paprika than I did. Now, when I make this, it usually takes around 10 minutes for everything to be cooked. Obviously, this is nothing like real eggs, so you can technically eat it raw. However, I do like my tofu to be nice and warm and some bits to be slightly crispy, so I cook it for a little bit longer. I love to have my tofu scramble with some avocado toast with a little squeeze of lemon and a whole bunch of other yummy sauces and herbs.